As Hezbollah openly flaunts UN Resolution 1701, passed to end the Second Lebanon War, the cabinet met this morning to decide on a course of action for Israel. Yoni Kapinski is here with more. Shalom, Yoni.
Shalom, Aaron.
Now, Yoni, could you explain what exactly is Resolution 1701?
The resolution called for the immediate cessation by Hezbollah of all attacks and the immediate cessation by Israel of all offensive military operations. Upon the cessation of hostilities, the government of Lebanon and UNIFIL began deploying their forces together throughout South Lebanon, and Israel, as that deployment began, started withdrawing all of its forces. The resolution emphasizes the importance of the extension of the control of the government of Lebanon over all Lebanese territory, so that there will be no weapons without the consent of the government of Lebanon, and no authority other than that of the government of Lebanon. 1701 calls upon the government of Lebanon to secure its borders and other entry points. The resolution also states specifically no foreign forces in Lebanon without the consent of its government, no sales or supply of arms and related material to Lebanon except as authorized by its government. Also, the resolution enhanced the UNIFIL force in the area in order to monitor the ceasefire.
So what was discussed in the cabinet today? Is the resolution falling apart?
Well, falling apart or already disappeared. There is continuing transfer of weaponry, which is, as the defense minister told the French foreign minister, damaging delicate balance at the northern border. The ministers today were presented with an assessment of the situation in Lebanon. Hezbollah is armed with missiles. Now, this is currently estimated at almost 3 times the amount present before the war. The resolution talks about safe borders. Well, Hezbollah is deployed throughout southern Lebanon. A Kuwaiti newspaper a week ago reported that the organization plans to post anti-aircraft missiles on the peaks of Lebanese mountains.
Now, so what are Israel's options, both in regards to the resolution itself and the Hezbollah group?
Well, so far it seems that statements and declarations are the main tactic. Foreign Minister Tzipi Livni connected the situation with the deal with Hezbollah. She said, unfortunately, Resolution 1701 was not completed by the Lebanese side, and I hope that during the next few days it will be implemented with the return of the kidnapped soldiers. We need to stop the arming of Hezbollah by way of the Syrian border and disarm it. There is currently an opportunity to do so, and we mustn't lose it. What is this opportunity? How will this happen? It doesn't seem that Israel will act with force against the Hezbollah, especially after the Second Lebanon War trauma. Defense Minister Barak said that Israel expects the French to act towards halting the transfer of weapons from Syria to Hezbollah, and that UNIFIL forces in southern Lebanon should boost activities countering the armament and fortification of Hezbollah. Member of Knesset Avigdor Lieberman spoke with Arutz Sheva today regarding the situation in the north.
Syria, Lebanon.
Dealing with the Hezbollah means dealing with Damascus. The weapons smuggling happens from Damascus. It's approved by the government in Damascus. It happens on the Syrian-Lebanon border. To continue running after every lone terrorist in the southern Lebanon wadis will bring no result. We must set an ultimatum for Syria. If the situation deteriorates and Kiryat Shmona goes into the shelters, the residents of Damascus will go into the shelters as well. Assad will have to pay the price.
Now, why would Israel want to use the UN and foreign governments that are generally hostile to the Jewish state to guard our northern border?
Good question. Listen, Israel has recently been increasing efforts aimed at the expansion of UNIFIL's mandate in southern Lebanon. No one's talking now about having Israeli soldiers patrolling through southern Lebanon and confronting Hezbollah again in the hills of Lebanon on a daily basis. And so now the best option is UN soldiers stationed inside Lebanon and a strong, and that's the most important thing that needs to happen, a strong and prepared IDF ready on the Israeli side of the border with lots of intelligence, surveillance over what's going on inside Lebanon.
Yoni Kapinski, thank you very much for joining us.